Hello, I'm back in Alaska. I just got back from California, like at the end of last week. So I've had the weekend to just kind of like chill and relax at home with Brendan, with my dog. I'm just kind of trying to psych myself up for the amount of chores I need to do today. I need to do a lot of cleaning. Brendan's dad is coming to stay with us tonight, and he's going to be sleeping on the couch because unfortunately, like, our downstairs is already full. Of course, we would want him to sleep, like, comfortably in his own bed. I'll try and make the bed as comfortable as I can, but I need to clean up just the entirety of the place. I want to pan around and, like, show you guys, like, the reality of kind of how messy my home can get sometimes, but also I'm embarrassed. Especially my office. I think, like, if you saw that, you'd maybe think I was like softcore hoarder or something. My dog's trying to go outside. He always like scratches at the door when he wants to go. Oh my gosh, you're probably gonna see just how messy everything is behind me. Here's my just a quick glance at how messy my plant station is. Okay, I was trying to get that to focus a little bit behind the doors on my dog, but the door's a little messy. I need to like Windex everything or just clean everything. I do want to show you right here. This is my lime tree. That was all but dead. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a little reel about it, and this was the only the only leaf that like remained. I just had forgotten to water it for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, a few weeks. It was also really just dry in the house with the heater on. Yeah, and I just don't know what else it was. It was probably a bit of spider mites. There's like a bunch of webs like on the dead leaves, and I think there was a little bit of webs before it even fully died. So I'm gonna trim this up. There's a lot of new growth happening there. That one leaf like struggled along, kept this plant going. So now it's growing again. My fiddle leaf fig, while I was gone, that sort of had not a great time. There was a period of time when Brendan also had the curtains closed, so it was getting a lot less light. But yeah, who knows? Who knows why that happened? Hopefully it's gonna be okay for now. I'm kind of thinking I am just gonna cut this fiddle leaf fig right there in the middle, have it like branch off more on this side, maybe make that top part a different plant. And to do that, I'm gonna have to like, you know, do that thing where you make the roots grow while it's still on the plant, and then I'll drop it off. I'll probably show you, make a video of it as well when I do it. But for now, I'm thinking of what seeds I've got to start. It's the end of February. It did get warm while I was in California, but it's getting colder again. It snowed just the other day, a few inches. I'm not expecting it to warm up until it's late. The start of the season is really late, like when it gets above frost, but I'm not waiting for when it gets like above freezing. I'm not waiting for my last frost date. I can start planting out in the hoop house especially, and in some of the, like, I have a little raised bed on the deck that has like a covering over it, so I can start planting out before the last frost date. And I'm thinking probably the end of April, maybe earlier, maybe the beginning of April if I really try. I was also kind of thinking about getting like heating cables, at least for my raised bed up on the deck, because there's an outlet right there connecting to the house. Getting some heating cables and maybe starting to grow things earlier there, like kale, like the cold hardy things that can survive frost. So I might get started on that. I mean, there's still like a lot of time before it gets to that point. Let me show you the seeds that I started just last night. But those are scabiosa, delphinium, and then a bunch of peppers, and I think one eggplant, like a Japanese eggplant. I started those. My Zatad herbs are growing. I'm gonna have to transplant these and put them under a fan. I've got to set up my seed starting space. Let me bring you into the seeds that I did start in my last video, how that's looking. Sorry, the lighting is super bad in here. Great under the great for the plants though. Maybe a little too great. It's gotten a bunch of algae, but there is, I don't know if you could see it, there's definitely Lysianthus popping up. That's a bunch of kale and chijimisi that I need to get planted up. I think I'm gonna resow some of these onions and leeks. A few eucalyptus, also some more. So this got maybe a bit too wet. I don't know if you can fully see, but some of the eucalyptus seedlings that started, they got dampened off. And dampening off is just when, like, the seedling, when the conditions are usually just too moist, not enough airflow, and certain kinds of fungus can go and sort of kill the plant. They'll kill a seedling from the stem, so all of a sudden you'll see just like a kind of healthy stem until all of a sudden it's not. The leaves, everything above like a certain point just dies and gets like brown and wilted. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. I'm just taking my time before I start to get things done. I got a haircut. I'm sure you guys don't care, but I did. My hair was super long. It's just a little curly at the end because I had it up like in a little bun, but I'm happy to, it's kind of a relief having shorter hair. It feels like a bit of a weight lifted off of me. Much quicker to shower, just makes life a little bit easier, and I think it looks cute. I'll pick up when I start to do something maybe more interesting. So bad. So I totally forgot that I had this. I saved a poppy seed head, and I can hear it rattling rattling around. There's still a bunch of seeds in it, so I'll probably harvest these. I'm pretty sure this is the black peony poppy. Big, dark, like mauve purple bloom. It's very, very pretty. For me, it bloomed like late summer, and yeah, it would be great to have more seeds of these. I still have the seeds from like the packet that I bought that I started those from last year, but that would be cool to sow some of my own. It probably doesn't look like so much to you, but that's a lot cleaner than how it was before, so I'm really happy with that. Still a lot more cleaning to do in the kitchen and the living room, so I'll just get to that. So it's the next day. I just did a bunch of cleaning yesterday. Brendan's dad came and spent the night on the couch and then went to the airport early in the morning. Unfortunately, I think we were being a bit loud. We had a guest downstairs. They wrote a review that reflected that we were being loud. So, yeah, I feel really crummy today. Like, I don't know. I feel bad that that happened. I wish we could have, I don't know, had a better solution to that. I wish we... I mean, I'm glad that we get that kind of feedback so we can sort of adjust the way that things are here so people don't have a bad experience here again in the future. I wish, like, I don't know, we could have done something last night. I didn't realize that, you know what, I don't want to go like into the details of it. It just seemed like a situation that could have easily been avoided, and you know what, now I'm gonna make sure in the future it's gonna be avoided. I'm gonna keep a white noise machine downstairs in the bedroom, just in case people have trouble sleeping, because it wasn't only like us speaking, it was like some of our pipes sometimes make a noise, like the pipes in the walls for heating. And that's just honestly inevitable when you have a house that's like that's not a new construction or anything. Like, pipes do that. Some people, you know, and when people are traveling, I think they're more on edge. Some people are traveling for work. They need to get a good night's sleep. So I am just going to do my best to try and make that as easy for them as possible. White noise machine. We're going to have earplugs down there as well. I don't ever want to feel this crummy or anxious again, so yeah, let's just move on from that. Otherwise, like, people have been really, really sweet and kind in their reviews. This is kind of the first, like, piece of feedback that has made me feel not so great, but anyways, learning experience. I can move on from it. Today what I'm doing, and I already got this started before I decided to start filming, I am planting up some more seeds. So I have stock, I have snapdragons, I have violas or pansies, and I'm gonna get those started. I did a bunch of soil blocks already. I'm using my big baking tray. So each of these things, it's like 300 cells right now is what I calculated it to be. I don't know if I'm gonna use all of them. These are, I didn't buy any seeds yet for this year. I don't know if I will. I'm thinking about that now, what seeds I need to get. But I have like extra, so I don't know exactly how much is left and how much I can fill out of here. But I'll just leave some empty if it's not gonna be even, you know. I have my notebook. I'm just gonna write down and keep track of what seeds are going in where, so I'll, yeah, just always know what variety, what colors are going in. I always know where they are because I do plan on selling a bunch of these at the farmer's market. If you don't know, last year we went to, Brendan and I went, well, I sort of dragged Brendan along with me. I went to the farmer's market to sell some of my plant starts, and that was so much fun, and I didn't know how it was gonna go, but it did pretty well, especially like during the sunny days when people were just out. So I'm hoping to do that again this year, and that And I'm hoping to be a little bit more mindful of the kind of things I do plant. I did a lot of violas last year and they didn't sell so well. So yeah, I just have to reconsider the kind of things that I think will sell, and also the kind of information I provide about those plants. You know what sold super well? Sunflowers. So those are super quick to grow, so I'll start them later. But snapdragons did fairly well, you know, for people who wanted to plant in their garden and who I think know what snapdragons are, or who saw the pictures and liked it. The stock is just for me, for cut flowers. I don't really want to sell stock. I guess, like, I could sell them as plants, but if people are wanting them for cut flowers to bring inside, it's just like you cut once and then the plant's useless after that. I'm not sure about that one, but I'll plant what I have left, and I think I am gonna buy some more stock seeds to do another succession of that later. So yeah, I'll just get started on this. So I got everything planted. I put vermiculite on top, sprayed it with some water, and then I'll just bottom water right directly onto this tray. Like whenever I need to water it, whenever I think it dries out. Let me just go over the varieties that I planted. So I did 2 blocks of brush strokes viola, and then the frizzle sizzle yellow blue swirl viola. Just 1 block each, so 20 each. And then I did 2 blocks each of Madame Butterfly Red, Madame Butterfly Bronze, and Madame Butterfly Ivory snapdragons. These I've grown like almost every year since I started growing things at all. I love the Madame Butterfly series of snapdragons. I just think they look maybe a little bit more interesting, a little bit more elegant maybe, or maybe that's just because I see often the other types of snapdragons with the more closed bloom, the one that looks like a kind of a mouth it looks like, but the Madame Butterfly, the blooms are more open. So it's just like, yeah, very interesting. I think it's a little bit more unique, and so I love to grow them. Then I did 1 block of Snapdragon Black Prince, if that shows up at all on the camera. And it is like a Baker's Creek seeds. I didn't order any new seeds for this year. This is ordered from previous years. I know I did say that I'm no longer purchasing from Baker's Creek seeds. They do have a lot of controversy over the things that have come out about Baker's Creek seeds. Just don't align with my values. These I have had from before, from previous years, before I learned of this anything like that. So I am going to use it. I'm going to finish using it. I did a couple of blocks, so 40 cells of Snapdragon Apple Blossom. This I got from Eden Brothers. And by the way, I don't know what seed companies do align with my values. So I haven't bought any seeds this year yet, so I'm going to do some research before I do. If any of you all know some, and just to give you an idea of what my personal values are, is respecting all opinions, respecting especially Indigenous people, especially minorities that have had like systematic oppression and oppression against them, that have been taken advantage of so much in the past. So yeah, and I don't want to like throw accusations either, because I just am not as informed as I would like to be yet about all this, the things that I've read and that I've heard. So I am just gonna go into seed buying cautiously now especially, you know, this past year, I have learned a lot about where I spend my money. Like, as a consumer, we have some amount of power. Maybe it doesn't feel that way if you're alone, like doing that, but you can support the businesses that, you know, help to contribute and make the world the kind of world you want to live in, the kind of world you want to leave to your children, to the next generation, you know? And that is what I'm thinking about more and more as I get older, as I just learn about things, as like sort of, like, it's a little bit sad to say this, but you just kind of see more of how the world really is. And I'm just maybe a little less sheltered now in my faith that, you know, everybody's gonna do the right thing. And I don't know, sometimes we just have to, I think, put in the effort to, you know, make the world a better place rather than just assuming that other people will. The last two seeds, anyways, the last two seeds that I sewed, and each of these got to so 40 blocks each, is the Stocks Anytime Mix and Stock Sissy Shades of Blue. That's what it says. I'm not even gonna bother having it focus. Just this camera and this lighting is weird now. Anyway, that's what I have for today. I'm gonna go put this under some lights. I think I've got to move some things around. I was thinking of starting my ranunculus today, my ranunculus and anemone corms, taking them out of the garage, out of storage, and getting them rehydrated and stuff. I might do that tomorrow. It's gonna be in the next video, whenever that gets uploaded. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things now that I'm back from California. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.